Hi and welcome to GRVO TV, G's Reviews, Views and Opinions. Just going to do my initial review and unboxing of this. It's the pink one that I've got. The HobbyKing Skysword 70mm EDF foamy jet with flaps, retracts, LED lights. Bargain price in my opinion. I paid £122 for it. I think it's currently about £140, but that was with a bit of discount on a special offer. But what great value for money. You get 8 servos, the fan, the EDF unit, the ESC, the undercarriage, everything for less than 150 quid. I think it's great value for money. So let's do the unboxing. Right, that's that done. Oof. And here she is. There's really no point doing like a build video or anything like that on this plane, so I'll quickly go over the assembly. You literally plug the wings in, and there's really nice beefy connectors. I've had issues with those before, but these ones are great. Nice connectors, so there's no wires to connect. You just plug the wings in, put in 4 little screws, and you're done there. The tail has 2 little there's a metal rod which goes in there as well. The tail has 2 carbon rods which you glue to the actual tail plane itself, and then they slide down in, 2 screws, you're done. And that's it. That is your assembly done. And the other thing you can do, is you put the nose on, which is just magnetic and detaches to stop you smashing it off in the car or in the garage. But a word of warning about this. I went to do the flight video of this yesterday, and guess what I forgot and left in the garage? Beware. So the flight video will come soon, because I'm not going to get a chance to do that now, today, or probably sometime next week that will come. So for now, I have flown it. I've done the maiden. And I just want to cover off a few negative comments on the internet. It's not powerful enough, it's not fast enough. It's plenty powerful enough on the 4-cell setup. I use a 4000 milliamp 4-cell, but quite a powerful one. It's a 60C, so a decently powerful 4-cell battery is fine. It's not set up for 6-cell. I've seen people use them on 6-cell and smoke them. Either the ESC, the motor blows up. So on 4-cell it's absolutely fine, and it keeps the weight down. There is plenty of room in there for a bigger battery if you want, but I found the 4000 fits in there a treat. The balance comes out really well, and it flies fine. It's that balance between weight and flight time. And the flight time, I think I got 4 minutes and landed with about 40% battery, so flight time's fine. The colour and the design splits opinions, there's no doubt about that, but when it's flying around it looks really futuristic, it looks great. You've got LED lights in the tips, and they do kind of show up when you're flying around. It's really good. Now, the takeoff run and the undercarriage. Now, foam jets all have issues with taking off. They have small wheels, and this one has a very tiny nose wheel. And whether they're aluminium, plastic, these are aluminium, at some point they attach to foam, so that the undercarriage is always going to be a weak point. So if you've got a really bumpy flying field and you've got long grass, then there's no point trying to fly these things off. It's just not going to work. You need a reasonably neatly trimmed lawn. Stop it. So, and it will get off just fine. No problem at all with that. I'll just quickly show you the underside. There you can see the flaps all installed. I did have to undo these ball joints and adjust everything on the elevator and the ailerons and the flaps, just to make sure everything was nicely centered and lined up. I've got the flaps just set to a 2-stage, maximum aileron, maximum elevator, maximum rudder movement. I do like a lot of movement, and that all works well. The nose leg is a steerable one as well, so there's a servo in there, hence you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 servos, because you've got 2 on the elevator halves, 1 on each half, which is nice, and so 1 for the steering and all that. Plus you've got your retracts, all works brilliantly. In the middle here, there's an absolute mess of wires and a little box. I've never had a play with one of these before, but from what I understand, all the wires from the servos go into the junction box, and then you just have your main wires coming out of that into your receiver. And I haven't done anything with it, just plugged it all in and it worked. So I don't know really what that is for. Whether it's just to cut down on extension leads, I don't know, but then you've still got the extensions coming out of that box going into the receiver, so I don't really know what it's for, but it all works fine. There's an access panel there to access the fan, which is obviously right up the back in this model. It's a 12 bladed EDF, so it sounds really nice when you're flying it. The takeoff run is deceptively slow, but once it hits a bump and it leaps into the air, it gets going quite nicely. It has a good turn of speed, and it just looks great when it's flying around. It looks different. It's very futuristic looking, looks a bit Star Warsy, and I just think it's a great plane. And for, again, I've seen some videos where they like crash it into the ground and rip the undercarriage out and then bitch and moan about how crap the undercarriage is. It's like, you can't land these things nose first. So these aren't for inexperienced flyers, they are for people who can nail the landing every time, and that's the attitude you want to be landing at. Mains first, then the nose, and virtually once, if you get that right, it's virtually stopped by the time the nose comes down, and it's absolutely fine like that. I mean, you can't really even land these all three at the same time because you're putting too much pressure on the nose leg and you're just going to rip it out. So if you're landing straight in like that, you're going to do the nose or the landing gear. And what I would say is, if you want a plane like this and you can't land particularly well, then practice until you can. But it's not by any means a difficult plane to land. You just have to land it properly. So that's all I would say, is don't sort of overestimate the strength of the undercarriage just because it's aluminium. You know, it's going to give way. So under normal circumstances, decent landings, decent takeoffs, it's absolutely fine. No problem whatsoever. It's an interesting flyer because it's got the high T-tail, so the rolls are a bit barrely. It's certainly by no means like a precision aerobatic plane. It will do sort of nice 4-point rolls. The slow rolls are a bit iffy, again because of that high T-tail, but that's kind of the nature of the beast. It's not got unlimited vertical performance. It's only a 4-cell and a 70mm fan, so it's not going to go out of sight vertical, but it's got reasonable vertical performance. Be careful when you're doing loops because you can run out of steam at the top, so keep them fairly tight. It's nice and positive on the controls. The flaps seem to work really well. Slow it down lovely. I say for the landings are a breeze if you can land. And that's it really. It's it's just, I think, a great value, funky looking. I know people that hate them and people that like them, but it draws attention either way. They do a bigger 90mm one, but I just think this is a nice size. It fits in the car nice. It's a nice size to handle, and it's just great value for money. You know, as I say, less than 150 quid. I think this is an absolute bargain. I will put a link below in the description if you want to click on it and buy one. So far I've had no success with doing that affiliate scheme thing. It's never worked for me, but I'll put it there if you want it anyway. But a great little plane, and I would thoroughly recommend it. So that's the HobbyKing Skysword 70mm EDF foamy jet in shocking pink. This is GRVO TV, G's Reviews, Views and Opinions. I'll see you soon. Bye.